So for our next presenter, it's actually me. I don't have a whole room dedicated to my models. I have a bookcase. I really like doing architectural models. You can see I've got quite a collection of little building co-models, and I also do a lot. I've got pretty much all of the Lego architectural series and some other plastic block architectural models. So what I'm going to talk about today is taking the Jacobs Usonian house, and I felt that that landscape on the outside really called for landscaping it. So, and that's what I did. I did a very simple landscape, nothing particularly sophisticated. I think I'm sort of like Paul. I'm learning to be a better modeler. I did want to share a picture that Bob sent me of his landscaping of the Jacobs model, and he did a much more realistic job than I did. Did a beautiful job with the grass and the bushes. He also added some texture to the roof and a little guy waving. He just did a spectacular job. Mine is much more basic. So I'm going to just talk about a couple of different elements. The first thing is this grass mat that I put on there. And I chose to just get a grass mat. You can get grass filler that you can glue onto it, but I decided to go with grass mat. Pick something that looks like a putting green. The tricky thing, though, if you follow my arrow, was this curve. Cutting out the grass mat to match this curve was a challenge. So this is a grass mat. It's a piece of paper with a grass texture on the other side. And this is the curve that I was looking for. Now, if you haven't built the Jacobs, this is actually a piece of the model. So if you haven't built it yet, you can easily just take this piece, trace it onto the grass mat, and you're done. I had already built the model. So fortunately, I asked Marcus, he sent me the CAD drawing of this curve, which was great. What I want is the landscape, this piece here. This will be the actual grass mat. The challenge I had is that this piece is 10 inches by 10 inches, and I have a standard inkjet printer that's just 8.5 by 11. So what I did is I took the CAD drawing, broke it into two pieces, added some registration marks, and then after printing them to scale, taping them together, cutting them out, I was able to glue that onto the grass mat. And I will make these two PDF files available if you were interested in doing the same thing I did. So I just taped that onto the back of the grass mat, cut it out, and then glued it on. And I used a hot glue gun. I decided not to use the wood glue that I used for the model. I was a little worried that the glue would absorb into the paper and stain the grass. So I used a hot glue gun for that. So now let's talk about the trees. The Jacobs model is 1:100 scale. So what that means is a 3-inch model tree represents a 25-foot tall real tree. I could not find any 1:100 scale trees. The closest thing I found was Model Railroad HO scale, which is 1:87, which means those trees are a little bit too big. So I just bought HO scale trees and trimmed them down. So to get them to the right size. If you're going to do some hacking with Unity Temple, its scale is 1:250. That's the closest thing is Model Railroad Z scale, which is 1:220. A couple other things I did. The bottom of the model had this light color base, and you can also see the laser cut edge there. I found that distracting. So I painted this entire outline here with burnt umber acrylic paint. Also thought I did a really good job cutting out the grass mat, but you can see I was off by about a 1/16 or so here. I painted that with forest green acrylic paint to just touch that up a little bit. Ended up with this finished effect. I did find on Amazon, and this will be in the material list, a couple 1:100 scale benches. And then this is HO scale bushes that I've trimmed, again, to get them to the right scale, and then just hot glue gun them into place. I think I am going to, like quite a few people have done, is add some texture to the roof to make it look more realistic. I'm also playing a little bit with lighting the interior of this model. I absolutely don't have anything I want to show you right now, but I have purchased some lights and trying to light the interior to make, again, look more realistic.